Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Discussion 101, my discussion series where we're going to talk about anything that has to do with anything. And today we're going to be talking about JumpForce and the 9 mystery DLC characters that will be coming post-launch. I don't know, either this year or later on in the year. They didn't reveal the time frame in which they're going to be releasing the DLC characters, but nevertheless, I wanted to talk about the characters that I feel may have that most likely have the chance of being in the game, as well as characters that I would like to see make it myself into the game, you know. So without further ado, let me say that last night I was trying to play the JumpForce beta, and you know, because Bandai Namco announced the new beta times, and they announced that January 31st, January 31st Pacific Standard Time between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. was going to be a time frame that you can play the beta. So when I played the beta, when I got the beta booted and I was trying to play it, eventually, the servers went down. I didn't get a chance to play it. The servers went down, and for the 65, I think it was like 65, 66 people in the live stream, probably like 40. I'm probably like exaggerating, but it was a good bit of people watching me, the most I ever had. So we started having a discussion about what characters we would like to see as DLC in the game. Now, JumpForce, for those of you who don't know, has a long history going back to the original Nintendo DS handheld system back in Japan. Well, it was called like JumpVersus, where it was a fighting game, a crossover fighting game from all of the Shonen Jump series, hence the name JumpForce. From all of the Shonen Jump series that we know, from like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, One Piece. I mean, back then, Naruto and One Piece, they were still relatively new. But matter of fact, I don't even think Naruto was in the game yet. I don't think Naruto was even made until like later on in the 2000s. But it was just like this amalgam and this mixture of all these characters from various animes that people enjoyed watching, and to see them in some type of battle setting was actually good, especially Yugi, because he's not a fighting type of character, but to see him in like a fighting game and other characters as well, it became almost like it developed this cult following, which led to several games in between then and now. And now we have JumpForce, which is again the amalgam, the fusion or the mixture of all these different animes that everybody grew up on and loves, and they're putting them all in this arena fighter with this story, which I'm not going to spoil, but they do have the video available, but you can watch the video yourself, which gives you the premise of how everybody came together and what the purpose of everybody's coming together to be. And yeah, the game has a lot of hype around it. A lot of people are looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to it. My only issue is I hope the servers aren't messed up like a lot of these games are, where it seems like you can't find anybody and then it crashes and it's just bad connectivity all around. Like, what I'm saying? Like, we don't want that. So, but they did announce there were going to be 9 additional DLC characters for this game on after February 15th. Sometime after the game's full launch, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what we get. But that still doesn't stop us from playing guessing games as to what exactly we're actually going to get. So most definitely I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, but I do have my own guesses and my own opinions as to what characters I would like to see and what characters I feel have the most potential at actually making it into the game. So let's see. Hold on, I think I just got a text. Somebody just texted me. I don't know who, but yeah, man, most definitely the game is something that I'm looking forward to, and I wanted to talk about the characters that I feel had the most chance in the game, characters I would just like to see in it. So let's get started with that. And I don't have many like I did with my Dragon Ball DLC discussion videos, but this one right here is definitely something that I think we can all enjoy. So the first character that I feel actually, and this is the character that I feel has the most likely chance of being in the game. Now first, before, as that's loading on my phone, when it comes to DLC characters, you know, they have to have a huge amount of popularity around them. They have to be something that had a major or some character that has that has had a major mark in the series that they're coming from, as well as, you know, left quite an impression that the company feels people will actually pay for them. You know, the main roster in this game has like 30 characters, and maybe I'll do like another discussion video after the game's full launch to better gauge what type of characters we can expect in the DLC. But, you know, they're only going to put the most notable characters from each of the series in this game. So with that being said, it's some characters we're just not going to get from this, even though they would fit in this game well. Some of them probably will serve better as DLC later on down the line. They probably just won't fit into the main game, you know what I mean? So some of that played a factor in a few of these characters that I'm gonna pick, or that I'm gonna talk about. Others not so much. But with that being said, let's talk about the first character that I feel is going to actually make the game, and that is as DLC, and that is Dragon Ball Super Broly. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dragon Ball Super is like the latest Dragon Ball series. It ended in like late last year with the Tournament of Power, and you know that left such a huge mark, and they ended up ending the series so early only because they wanted this movie to come out in December of last year. I think the series ended, I think like in during like the summer or something like that. I'm not sure. Or was it like early 2018? I don't remember. But they announced that they did want they wanted to put a halt on the series so they can get the movie out as soon as possible. And Broly, you know, he was originally a non-canon character, but this was their way of writing him into the main continuity and making him canon. And of course they changed a couple things, you know, with the way that he discovered his powers, the way that they discovered his power level was so high as a baby, and what happened to him once he left Planet Vegeta, and you know what happened to his father, how his father died. You know, just a variety of things changed. But Broly was always like this fan favorite character, and now that he's a canon character now, you know, and that the movie, you know, just came out in America, you know, this past month, because right now it's February 1st, but this past month the movie just came to America. You know, everybody's watching it online. People are going to the theaters and they're watching it. You know, he has the highest chance of actually being a DLC character in this game. Like, I just can't see them not putting him in the game as DLC. So Dragon Ball Super Broly, you know, he's one of the characters that I feel are actually going to make it into the game. Next up, the next character I feel has a chance of making it into this game as an actual DLC character. And this is another Dragon Ball Super character. And speaking of Tournament of Power, Jiren the Gray. Now, why do I feel like Jiren the Gray has a chance of making it into the roster? First and foremost, Jiren was just announced as DLC for Dragon Ball FighterZ, and there's a lot of hype around Jiren. You know, during the Tournament of Power, which was the final arc right before they started working on the Dragon Ball Super movie featuring Broly, Jiren was like the main character that the Tournament of Power was kind of focused on, because he was this big, powerful mystery opponent. Nobody knew him. He had this weird aura. He was super strong, and it came down to him and Goku. Goku ended up learning like a new form or a new technique or something like that. Jiren was pushed to his limit, and it was just like this big infatuation with Jiren during that whole arc leading up to that, during the Tournament of Power. So the fact that, you know, I feel like Dragon Ball Fighters just got him. You know, there's still room for more Dragon Ball Z characters in this game. I can't imagine Jiren not being in this for whatever reason, but I think when they do the DLC characters, I think they're going to limit it to like probably like one character per series. They probably have like 9 different Shonen Jump shows that they have in this game, so they're probably going to do like one per, you know what I mean, one per show, one DLC character per show. But Jiren most definitely, if Broly doesn't make the roster as a DLC character, I can see Jiren the Grey making the roster as a DLC character. So he's my second guess. Next up, we have some characters from Bleach. And the first of those characters are... Ooh, let me not do it like that. It's gonna come out bad. No, let me not do it like that either. There we go. Gotta forgive me, I'm doing this live. There we go. The next character is the captain of the 13 Court Guard squads, and that is Yamato Ginryusai. This is a character that when Bleach is around, you know, when Bleach was still going, he was definitely one of the big figureheads in Bleach. You know, like when a lot of people were gauging power or anything that had to do with strength, Ginryusai, like he was like the barometer. Like nobody was stronger than Ginryusai, nobody was stronger than Yamato. You know, he was the head captain, and he was ahead of the 13 Court Guard squads, head captain for over 1,000 years, and he was just this powerful being within the Serite, and I just can't see a character like that not being in this game. You know what I mean? Like he just screams, you know, playable character in a game like this. This is too big of a game to not see Ginryusai in it. So that's my next guess right there. So let me get him out the way. The next character that I have available, or the next character that I'm guessing is going to make it into the game, is a character from the final arc in Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War, Yuha Bak. He was the main antagonist from that arc. He was the head of the Quincy's. He was the head of this group called the Steinritters, and the head of the Weidenreich. The Weidenreich. I know the people who are into like the pronunciations and everything like that, they're gonna kill me for not getting the pronunciation right, because I know I'm saying it wrong. I probably ain't, but he had such an impact in that final arc that to see him not being in this game is going to be kind of crazy. Now, they never made an animation with him in it. They never made an anime with him in it, so I can still see him being in this game as a DLC character. I just can see like the shock value that comes with having a character like Yuha Bak in a game like JumpForce. He just screams JumpForce to me. And it would be cool to see how his abilities of the Almighty play in a game like this. And you know, I just got a strong feeling that, because I think they announced there was going to be one more major villain. I don't know if Aizen was supposed to take that role. Like the way they mapped out how they were going to put the main roster, I think there was going to be like one major hero, one major villain, or something like that. Like they were kind of pairing it out. Like I can't remember how they said they were going to do it, but there's still room for more Bleach characters. And any Bleach characters are going to make the game. Obviously these two are. So Yuha most definitely. His power as the Almighty would be kind of crazy if they had like some time travel or some type of ability where you can go back in time and kind of like change things a few seconds, or just something like that. That'll be a crazy mechanic, I think, would be in this game. So next up, you can put any one of these characters in this game, honestly. More Bleach characters, the Zero Squad, the Royal Guard. We have Tojiro, we have Hikifune, we have Senshumaru, we have Nemiya, and we have Ichibei. Now, all 5 of these characters are very like these are like the hidden characters. If Bleach was a fighting game, these would be the top 5 hidden characters in the game, like right there. Because in the Bleach world, each of these characters made considerable contributions to the Soul Society that allowed them to go up to the Soul King, who is like the god of Bleach. And he gave each of them their own little palace within like the Soul King's palace. Like they gave them their own little island which they control, and they each made considerable contributions. Nemiya, he created the Zanbakuto, which is the sword that all Shinigamis use. Ichibei, he's the monk who gives the real name. He was the one who created the name Shikai, Bankai, Zanbakuto, Sanpakuto, and etc., etc. Senshumaru, she was the one who created the robes basically that the Shinigami wear. Hikifune, she created the artificial soul, which Gon, that little lion teddy bear character, that artificial soul pill, she created that. And with let me not pronounce this dude's name right. Tenjiro, forgive me, don't crucify me. I don't know if it was called Tojiro or if it was Tenjiro. I think it was Tojiro, but yeah, he was the one who created the healing Ryatsu, and so all 5 of them made considerable contributions that every Shinigami pretty much uses in the Soul Society today. So to see, and during that last arc when they were fighting, a lot of these characters didn't get a chance to really shine all of their abilities. I think with Ichibei, I think he was the only character that actually put up like a real fight, and only really 2 of them really revealed their Shikais. Well, with Ichibei, he revealed his Shikai and his Bankai. With Jiro, I'm just calling him Jiro, he revealed his Shikai, but it wasn't really explained what it does. You know what I mean? With Nemiya, he's the one who created the Zanbakuto, so it would have been cool to see what his Shikai would have actually been. Shikai and Bankai would have actually been, but I know that's probably too far-fetched. I doubt they're going to do anything with that. With Senshumaru, she didn't even reveal her sword, and with Hikifune, I think we've seen her Shikai, but the release command and the name of her sword wasn't even revealed. They just showed the Shikai when she was trying to block Lily's shot. It was just like this big spoon, and they didn't really do anything with it. It was so rushed because I know Kubo, he had like a deadline with the series, and it's just like to see one of these characters. But considering that Ichibei was the only one who actually revealed his Shikai and his Bankai as well as several of his techniques, he would be the one I would pick out of the Zero Squad. If they were put any body from the Zero Squad in the game, he would be the one that I would actually see being an actual character in this game. So most definitely he is one of those characters that I see being in it. But any one of them can be, because they are adding some elements to this game that were never really explained. Like for example, with Ichigo, he revealed his Bankai going against Yuha, but his Zanbakuto got broke and his Bankai kind of deactivated. It's like the moment he got it, and it was never really explained what his Bankai was capable of. So, but they did put it in the game. So I don't know if they're going to have some type of data sheet or something like that that explains it. But if they're doing that, I can imagine them doing other things similar to that, like explaining what certain Shikais and Bankais do. If they added any characters from, you know, that arc that never really got a chance to, you know, shine the way they were supposed to. So I got somebody from, you know, the Zero Squad. That's my guess. It's far-fetched, but I'm still throwing it out there. Next up are the Steinritter. Now, speaking of the Quincy's and Steinritter and U-Haul being the head of all the Steinritter, I'm gonna say, of course, not all these guys are gonna make it. It's just unlikely. But there were a few of the Steinritter that actually had played a good role in the series, or in that final arc, excuse me, that I can see actually making the game. Like, for example, there's Askin, who is standing right there next to Ishida. I want to say Lillian Barrio, excuse me. You know, the power of the X-axis, I can see him, excuse me, being added to the game. Basby, he kind of had like a good history with Hashwalt, which is the guy, you can't see his face, but he's like the one pretty much standing across from, like he's the one on the left side in the forefront, the one that has the blue sash, like a turquoise sash around his chest. He's Hashwalt, and he's basically like the leader of the Sternritters. You know, like he's right under Yuha. But between Basby, Askin, Ishida, I'm pretty sure he's going to get added to the main roster. I don't see why not. But Hashwalt, Basby, Askin, Lillian, Barrow, like those are the only Sternritter I can actually see making it into this game. If they add any Sternritter, which I can't see them not adding any Sternritters into the game. So it's like, but then again, they kind of doing it with U-Haul. If they did, technically, he's the head of them. So he's not a part of the group. It's just a group he created. So maybe a Sternritter is going to make it in there. I don't know, but there's a few, which the names that I've given, I know I didn't pronounce some of them right, that left quite an impression, to where I know fans are going to be asking for them on the, you know, they're going to be asking for them later on. No pun intended. Next up, we got a character from Bleach. Let me get this right. And this is a character that is currently fighting Luffy in the current part of the anime. This is Dogtooth Katakuri, the man with a $1 billion bounty on his head. He's a part of Big Mom's pirate crew, and he's the head of this group called the Sweet Generals. And he is giving Luffy basically the hardest time out there. And the only during the fight, well, I don't want to ruin it, but just to show you how tough this guy is, he has this ability in the world of One Piece. They have this ability called Haki, and what Haki is that it's this special ability. There's three different versions of Haki. They have Conqueror's Haki, they have the armor, they have Haki of color, and then they have the Haki of observation. And basically, like with Conqueror's Haki is like you can, I don't know, I guess like send your energy. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like you're sending your energy out within like a certain area, and you can like knock everybody. Like it's the Haki of intimidation, basically what they call it, or they call it Conqueror's Haki. And you can send, I guess, your intimidation out within like this area of effect, and it'll knock out a bunch of people because they can't, you know, the energy is like too strong for them or whatever. Like I can't explain it really. You have to be a fan to really watch it. There's hockey of color, which is basically or what they call like the armament hockey, which you can use, you know, hockey to like harden certain parts of your body and like strengthen them. And with certain characters in this world of One Piece, that's the only way you can really damage them is by using hockey of, you know, using armament hockey. And then we get to Katakuri's special uniqueness is the hockey of observation. Now, to be prominent in any of these, with the hockey of observation, you know, you have some characters who, which is basically the ability to just sense other things around you, you know, and basically avoid. Like you can sense when somebody is swinging a bat at you, and you can duck and avoid it. Or basically, it's like Ultra Instinct and like in Dragon Ball Z. But you know, One Piece had it first. You know, it was called the observation hockey. But some people are so prominent, which Dogtooth Katakuri is in observation hockey, that they can see into the future a little, you know, like a few seconds into the future. And this means that they can predetermine, you know, what you're going to do before you do it, and you know how you're going to attack them, if you're going to run, if you're going to dodge. You know, they can really look into the future and predetermine everything that you're about to do a few seconds ahead. So it's like he's giving Luffy a very tough time, even after Luffy revealed his Snake Man Gear 4th form. It's just, you know, he's really giving Luffy a run for his money. So seeing the abilities that he showcased in the game, in the anime, I can see Katakuri being added as a DLC character from Bleach. So next up is we're going to Naruto, and this is like going like second to the last character. This is a character again that has a huge fan base following, and somebody who was a very big powerhouse in the early days of Bleach, and this is Itachi Uchiha. Now Itachi Uchiha, he's basically like one of the guys that since a young child he was a very, you know, powerful, very skillful prodigy. Even growing up, he was like 17 and he was head of like the Anbu, which is basically like a secret ops, like the black ops of the ninja world. And they just you know, and being so young and being the head of a group like that, you know, that just shows you how skillful he was as, you know, at 17. You know, you're 17 years old and you're, or was it 13 years old? I think it was 17. And you have grown men at your, you know, grown men following you. Of course, you had a bunch of kids that were like, a bunch of people within the Black Ops that didn't like it and tried to challenge him. Didn't work, of course. But yeah, most definitely. Hold up. I definitely gotta answer this. Yeah, it's just like a big. Okay, but yeah, there we go, take that out. Sorry, I just got like a lot going on my phone. But yeah, Itachi definitely left his mark in the world of Naruto. He has a huge following. Any video game he was in, he was like a fan favorite. And his attacks, his Sharingan, which was very unique, even amongst the other Uchiha, or the ones that was left after he killed them all. He just had a presence that just screams, and if he was a DLC character in this game, people would definitely buy it just to play him, just to play with him. So Itachi is definitely one of the characters that I'm guessing is going to actually be in this game as a DLC character, if he's not in the main roster. Last but not least, and this is a character that I'm kind of taking a risk with as far as making a guess. But if you're a fan of the series, you would basically know who he is. The Dark Tournament, all of that. Forgive me if that was the name of it, because I ain't seen the show in forever. This is Rinku, who was a demon child in the world of Yu Yu Hakusho, who used yo-yos as basically, his offense. And I know with Kahlua from Hunter x Hunter, he kind of had that same thing going for him at one point. But Rinku was like, he was like the OG with the yo-yo, so to see him in this game would be like a shock factor. I don't think he's actually going to make it. It's just a character that I personally would like to see. If they had Kahlua in the game, then they could have Rinku, and they maybe could add another character from another series that, that used yo-yos as a weapon. I think that would be pretty cool to have like a team that's comprised of like all yo-yo attackers or something like that. But yeah, he was a character that, if you was a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, he definitely caught your attention as one of those characters that had it, I guess you'll say, and it really made you want to sit and watch a tournament with him in it, or you enjoy watching his fights. Any type of kid, child prodigy in any type of anime always draws attention because, one, they're so young and they're powerful and they have these abilities, and it makes you want to use the character if they ever came out in a video game, and just to see them have that type of interaction with them, or to use them or just to see them have any fight scene. But nevertheless, so this is my live DLC, not predictions, just discussion. I'm not gonna say predictions because this isn't a prediction. Broly and Jiren were predictions, but the rest of them not so much. This was more so about me enjoying characters that I would like to see as DLC in the game. So yeah, you guys tell me what you think. What characters would you like to see as DLC in JumpForce when the full game gets released? Again, I'm gonna do another one of these once the full game is released, and we can go through and see what animes they put in the game, because like I said, it's only, the main roster is only going to have 30 people in it, so they're going to put the most notable characters from every show in the main roster. But with that being said, what characters would you like to see as DLC in this game? Did the characters that I picked make you feel like they were going to actually going to be in the game? The characters that I didn't pick, you feel have a good chance of being in the game? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, all of the good stuff. Share the video, tell your friends about it, and come the full release of JumpForce, I'm gonna do another one of these, and we can better gauge what characters we can expect to see in the world of JumpForce. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off. This has been ADS Play 101, and remember, World Warriors Collective: be humble in victory, be gracious in defeat, but show no mercy in battle.